The elevator seems to have been built in modern times, but it was actually built 200 BC and installed in the Colosseum. Later, in modern Europe, elevators operated by manpower or simple mechanical means existed. Of course, the more universal modern elevator became practical around the world in the 19th century, spreading around the world since it was invented in the US in the 1850s by Elisha Otis. There are many safety devices in the elevator, so accidents that you often see in movies or games cannot happen. Safety devices operating the elevator door opens, cannot move immediately have been in operation and that, had moved will stop. Moving does not move according to a set program, but then moves according to the program's judgment, which slows the movement much slower, sometimes causing it to rattle and stop and move. The more advanced the building technology, the height of buildings all over the world is increasing tremendously. It's impossible to get in and out of an apartment without an elevator. You're not supposed to spill over to climb a tall building. It's become a very important vehicle for us today. What if my elevator goes down? It's a terrible situation I don't want to imagine, but I'm sure no one has ever thought about it in an elevator. Interestingly, most people come to the same conclusion about this imagination. As soon as the elevator touches the ground, we decide that we can buy it by jumping. Scientific analysis is a bad conclusion that is not logical at all. It's impossible to know when you're on the ground and jump, but you can't reduce the impact. Jumping from a falling elevator will plunge your head into the elevator ceiling and throw you back on the floor. When an elevator freezes, it becomes weightless inside and exerts a force to continue climbing. So if you jump, you're going to fly out if you don't have an elevator ceiling. When an elevator falls from 15th floor, it hits the floor in seconds. It seems impossible for the best stuntman to come and jump at a moment like this. If you hit the bottom at this rate, you don't see any chance of survival. The smartest way is to lie back on the elevator floor or lie flat. Also, wearing a handle on both arms and supporting the floor with two legs increases the chances of survival. If you lie on a large pedestal, the impact on the human body can be dispersed, which can seriously reduce injury in one area. If you're in an elevator with your bag, you'll get a little less shock if you lie down or down to cushion the floor. But these accidents are very rare. In the United States, there are about 27 people who die in elevator accidents every year, and most of them are accidents such as opening elevator doors and falling out. The probability is that the probability of dying in an elevator is 0.000015%, and you have to use 650 million elevators, which can happen once. The most extreme case of elevator crash survival so far was recorded at the time of the Empire State Building bomber crash in 1945. The elevator carrying one person fell freely from the 75th floor, and several factors, including the accidentally similar to the structure of the waterworks in the basement, absorbing the impact of the crash, caused this person to be injured by a fracture. The most important thing is that an accident can't actually happen unless someone intentionally does it. In the event of an elevator crash, the brake system will be activated and will not crash. Some elevators have a large water rail installed on the floor to absorb the impact. It works before all accidents and stops working on its own, so there is little chance of an elevator accident. However, the accident is caused by a lack of safety standards or poor construction. Also, keep in mind that when the elevator stops, most of the accidents happen when you open the door recklessly and try to escape and crash.